So now the camp is all set up. One of the first things I wanted to do was carve a path to the lake to the right behind Eddie. Spring is a perfect time to do this sort of trailblazing because it's not all overgrown with the brush that fills in the summertime. I was at the same location in September, and the foliage was so thick that you wouldn't be able to see me in the shot. I found the brush was too thick for a machete, and using my chainsaw was the most effective way of cutting down the small brush. I wanted to create the most direct path to the lake, and I wanted to make it as easy as possible. By summer, this would be impenetrable without cutting back the small brush. I wanted to make sure I got the high limbs so that I could carry the canoe through easily. It was a lot of work, but it was worthwhile. And now it was time to test my trail. Well, I've been at camp 3 days and I think I've seen the sun for about 2 hours total. Just that typical spring, hazy, drizzle weather. Absolute peace and quiet though. Not a soul on this lake. Haven't seen or heard anybody since I've been here. So the portage that I cut to get to this lake was 130 meters according to Gaia from the trailer, which is a nice short little hike. I'm going to keep the canoe at the shoreline and I'll use my pack boat to go explore other lakes in the area. I'll throw that on my ATV and I have a few lakes that I want to check out. Some are along ATV trails, some I'll have to bushwhack again. That's part of the fun though. This area is full of moose, bear, wolves, deer. not a lot of deer, but mainly moose. You see a lot of tracks of moose. You'll see their droppings everywhere. You see bear scat, but rarely do you really run into them. Well, I'm convinced wildlife enjoys the nice weather just like we do. On the ATV, I saw a huge snapping turtle. Saw a beaver, which you never really get too close to generally. Saw a ruffed grouse. It's mating season for them right now. And then on my paddle, I saw some otters jumping into the lake. Well, it's been a year since I've got my awning. So really, it's just a heavy-duty tarp that I ordered online. Got to put my emblem on the top of it, which was nice. So what I really like about it is I got the two poles that I secure out with guy lines, and they're pulled in different directions and keeps it nice and taut. But the secret for a big awning like this to be successful and not have water kind of accumulate and bow in the middle of it is this pole right here. And really all this is, I found it at Home Depot, it's just a fiberglass pole for painting houses. And I just covered it with black electrical tape because it's like a bright yellow fiberglass and didn't like the look of it. But what's perfect about it is that at the top, it has a hole in the handle. So I'm able to run a line from that pole diagonally through the hole in the handle. I kind of tie it off and then right to the other end of the tarp. So that way it doesn't fall down if it gets windy or whatever else. It's secured to the middle of the tarp, and also makes for a perfect clothesline underneath the tarp, so I can hang stuff, and even if it rains overnight, or it keeps it my clothes dry. My third trout in the same spot. As soon as they see the boat, they get a little more aggressive. He's not happy now. Another lake trout. Good size one. Come on, you. Nice one, eh? There we go. And back he goes. This is the spot. I just went back, made another pass. This is the second fish in the same spot. Let's take another lake here. A little smaller, this one. a little smaller, but still a nice one. Back it goes. Today looks like it's going to be a gorgeous day. I've been here about a week and I need to do some laundry, so I don't usually do this on trips. I'm never usually gone for 2 full weeks, but I'm going to take advantage of the nice weather, do some laundry. I'm heating up some water. I'm going to use a small cooler as my washing tub, put some biodegradable soap in there, wash it up, rinse it out, and then hang them on these lines for my awning. This is pretty much my ATV setup as of late. I use this metal T-bar, which is basically something you put in the hitch of your pickup truck to carry long items, but I found it really useful for the ATV. Put my pack boat up on there. I can carry tree stands, hang stuff off it with a few ratchet straps. It's very secure. I use this ice fishing sled to bring my hunting gear and fishing gear and any other gear that I need to drag through the woods. So I just strap that on there. So it makes for a great cargo area on top of the storage racks, but also it can come off and I can drag it through the woods. So this is kind of the handiest way of using the ATV that I can think of. It's a beautiful natural stream that just comes out of this hill. Underneath this rock is the first real evidence of its source. And you can see above it is just nothing but a hill. So it's pretty cool. I've been drinking out of this stream now for over a year, and it is the best water you're ever going to drink. Remember, just because I'm using biodegradable soap doesn't mean I'm going to go rinse my clothes off in the lake or near a stream or anything like that. So I have some fresh water that I get from the natural spring that I've showed you earlier. And I have this nice dry plateau where I have the trailer. It's far away from any real water source, so the soapy water is going to have plenty of time to disperse before it makes its way through the ground and into another water source. Just going to use the hull of my pack boat as a work surface. Get all this soapy, dirty water off here. Clean water in there. So that's pretty much got the soapy water out, give it a good rinse, and then hang it to dry. Warmest, nicest day we've had yet of the spring. If you ever see me without a helmet while I'm riding my ATV, it's because I'm not really going too far. I'm going to get some firewood right now. It's just at the end of this road, maybe 100 meters down the road to a downed tree that I saw, just kind of right off the road. So there's trees everywhere here, and finding firewood, it's not like you can't find it, it's just finding the most convenient stuff. So there's a downed tree fairly close to the road, so I'm just going to take the ATV down there and cut it up and bring it back. I always take the time to put on chaps and safety gear. Maybe it doesn't look cool for YouTube, but I'm out here a long ways away from anybody. I've been out here a week and I haven't seen one person the entire time, riding up and down on logging roads, not even an ATVer. So it just makes sense to be as safe as you can. So when I first noticed this tree, I thought it was perfect. Look, the way it split at the trunk looked like it had been dead for a while. So I thought, great, some nice hardwood. You don't get that very often. So even though the trunk is broken off and it looks like it's been broken for a while, there's still enough moisture in the tree where the buds are actually emerging, which is bizarre. So this is the split in the trunk. So I thought for sure that I'd be in good shape. But I've been cutting some of the wood. You can actually see how the buds are actually sprouting out. So still very wet wood, so there's no point in putting the effort into cutting this up, even though it'd be great firewood. Maybe next year. Plans I knew down the road there was this fallen tree that someone had cut earlier in the season. So I'm just going to pull off to the side here. This looks like pretty good dead wood. And like I said, I haven't seen anybody, so I'm not too worried about stopping traffic. Right here and cut this up. Sometimes it's tough to back up in these streets, so I want to put the wood up top there. I'm going to strap it down, and then I can put the tailgate up and actually use my camera back up the camp, or to a turnaround. Yeah, you never know how far you got to go to get one. Whew. So good morning everyone. I thought I'd give you an update on how the off-grid power situation is going. Today is day 9 here. So my electrical system that allows me to do this is that I have 2 Battle-Born Game Changers. They're 270 amp hour batteries. So I have a total of 540 amp hour worth of battery storage, and how I supply those once they run out is that I rely on solar. And so yesterday was by far the biggest kind of power absorption from the solar panel. 2.29 kilowatt hours worth of power just yesterday, and prior to that it had been pretty slim besides a few days. So that really boosted my batteries back up to into the 70%. And luckily today it's sunny out and the forecast is calling for another sunny day. So day 9, and I'm going to be almost topped up with my battery power. So I just thought I'd share that with you, kind of give you an idea of why I'm able to stay out here this long. So this is just a nice small lake that you got to take an ATV trail to get to. Got the place to myself, nobody's here. Beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky. So I'm gonna hop in the pack boat, canoe around, see how we do. Oh. Oh boy. Come on, buddy. All right. I love spring. I absolutely love spring. Finally, after more than a week, I had some company. My son Griffin and my nephew Evan joined me for the rest of the trip.
What's going on?
Not much. How you doing?
Good. Took a lot of detours.
Good job.
That's okay. Yeah. Yeah. What's going on?
You still got here for me,
yes,
really?
I did. Yeah.
What's
I was.
up,
So I spent like $150 on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and really good.
So company's arrived, and now I thought it would be a perfect time to show you one of my latest pieces of gear that's really made organization around camp a lot easier. It comes in this really durable, nice carrying case. It fits perfectly in the storage area under the wheel well inside of Eddie, so it doesn't take up a lot of space considering what it does. Last year at camp, when I had my 2 boys and my nephew, there's so many little personal belongings that just need a place. They were in the canvas tent, and you know, it's a bit of a gong show in there with young boys kind of trying to organize things. But outside, kind of underneath the awning, I wanted them to have places for their shoes. You know, everyone has a pair of Crocs for around camp. Both of my sons are diabetics, so there's kind of delicate devices that kind of just need a place. They can't just be randomly lying around. So when I came across this on the Cabela's website, I thought this is absolutely perfect for what I need. So it really comes out of the case. They have these adjustable rubber feet on all 4 ends of the storage cabinet, so you can adjust to get it to balance on uneven ground. It has these latches here that unlatch on this side, and then what you do, put it on the ground, what's needed is this hard plastic shell, so those go in there. It's time to put it away. Fold up these sleeves. And then you can put it in the case or not. This is the nice plastic surface that you can use as a coffee table top, where, you know, it'll kind of handle some moisture and that sort of stuff. Good morning, everyone. It's day 10, and as you can probably hear, it's raining outside. The past 2 days have been beautiful. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, so the battery bank got charged up to about 82%. So I was just looking out the windows, filming some of the rain, and just had a wild turkey kind of walk through camp, strolling through. For the last few years, I've had Eddie for a spring trip, and it's been really nice. But prior to that, all my spring trips through the years have been waking up in a tent and hearing rain and having to get out and put rain gear on and canoe for the rest of the day. I was right about last night. It was a beautiful night. Could have been our last campfire, and it's going to be. We're in for some rain tonight, and we're all soaking wet. We've got the tent up. I'm going to. I know if I don't eat now, I'm not going to want to do it once I dry off. I enjoyed those trips immensely, but I must admit it's kind of nice to wake up in a trailer, and I'm about to light a fire in the wood stove, take the chill out of the air in here, sit back, have a coffee, make breakfast. So I don't know if I'm getting soft or whatever, but it is a really comfortable luxury to be able to have the best of both worlds. And the irony is that I am a stone's throw away from the actual lakes that I did those canoe trips in.
or is it bad?
Yeah, I didn't know the plot.
It's
Like,
such a deep.
I didn't know the twist
Yeah.
at the end.
Like there's usually too much going on where you kind of lose the original. It smells good, dude.
Not bad, eh?
Not bad at all. Oh, yeah, I like that. When you're out here, you need something like that.
Exactly.
Is tomorrow supposed to be nicer?
And I got one. We'll see if I got time. We'll do it tomorrow, maybe the next day. There's like a potato bacon kind of soup I got too.
Yeah, let's do it.
Quick.
Yeah.
It's fun when you have two decks together because it's like just longer. When there's obviously more cards. Both flip these at the same time and then play as fast as can.
Yeah.
Nope. Oh, fuck. I don't know what I have. So, there you go. See, you won again.
Do you think so? I could spend 14 years, not just 14 days doing this. I'm very, very fortunate to be able to do this now for a living. Could not be any happier. Should have brought my sunglasses, but this was kind of a last minute thing. I just got back to Eddie, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna take advantage of my trail that I carved out. And because I left everything down here, just a short little hike. And that's it. All right. Been paddling with my socks. I like to paddle kneeling down, have a lot more control, find it a lot more comfortable, but as I get older, it's a little less comfortable with boots on underneath the seat. So I slip on the old rubber boots when it's time to get out. Bob's your uncle. What a beautiful night. Perfect paddle. No fish, but now we get out. Short walk back to Eddie. It's cooling off. It's a clear night. It's supposed to rain, but it's clear, so it usually means the temperature is going to drop. So we're almost running out of food. I underestimated how much my 17-year-old son eats. So we're getting near the end of our trip, and we're starting to look at the dehydrated meals as genuine options for dinner. Well, it's time to start packing up. We're leaving tomorrow. I've already started putting things away. The canoe is on top of Eddie. Solar panels are down. Just started organizing all the fishing and hunting stuff and start putting it back in their containers and that sort of thing. Completely running out of food. This is a dehydrated meal that I'm having for dinner. We're down to the last scraps. I don't want to make it seem more dramatic than it is. Could always drive an hour to a grocery store, but the whole idea was not to have to make that trip. So we planned it pretty good, but having a 17-year-old boy who eats everything in sight kind of makes the food rationing a little more difficult. I didn't realize how much I eat chocolate until I don't have any for like 3 days, and it's got some serious cravings going on. Definitely my first stop once we hit the road is going to be grabbing a few treats. It's been crazy weather. It's been dropped down to almost freezing last night, so the boys were using my Cabela's minus 29 Celsius sleeping bags that I use for my winter trips inside Eddie here. They're on cots in the canvas tent, and the night before they got cold with their lighter sleeping bags, so I brought the big ones. Told them to use them earlier, but they didn't want to dig them out. Well, the boys are just packing up the tent. I'm packing up Eddie. We're just about ready to go. I just want to say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. We got another one in the books. If you might have guessed by watching the video, there was more to it, but I don't always put everything on YouTube. So if you want to follow along with all my adventures, you can check me out on Instagram and get a better feel for what the boys are up to on this trip. But I'd just like to say thanks if you made it to the end of the video. I truly appreciate your support. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps out the channel. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.